He was probably the most physically capable person that I've ever known.
But he's determined to still enjoy those same things.
I be adventurous. I'm Remy Bernie. I used to be a fully able mountain guy until Alabama aneurysm that left me in a wheelchair. Staying physically active is very important when disabled. Stay tuned and I will show you a few things that you get involved with to stay active around Calgary. First off, we visit with Jack to learn more about the anti-gravity treadmill.
FootJacks is a company that is dedicated to keeping people active on their feet. Remy actually can get himself walking fast enough that we could arguably call it running. Well, anybody that has the potential to walk, but obviously walking is difficult, exercise is probably the most important thing that they can do. Staying fit is difficult when you're in a wheelchair. He's just quickly put himself up to 1.0, so he's walking at 1 mile per hour at the moment. One of the machines that we have is the AlterG. The AlterG is a treadmill that makes you light. It holds you up and it enables you to be able to walk when walking is difficult. Fast?
5 minutes.
Warm up?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew Remy before he had his accident. I think it was 7 years ago. He was probably the most physically capable person that I've ever known. And then he had his accident.
1.9.
1.9. Got him onto the machine for the first time, and he had very little to no control over his legs. We would make the treadmill go on and off, on and off.
2.2.
2.2. He slowly just learned how to get a certain coordination of his legs so that he could move. And we've progressed him to the point where he has now gone at 3.0 miles per hour, which for an able-bodied person is about the speed that you'd be walking at if you really had somewhere to go. It keeps his muscles strong. It allows him to be able to self-transfer, which is a really big thing for the facilities that he has to live in. The spectrum of people that can use this is extremely vast, all the way up to professional athletes who have absolutely no injuries and they're just using it for performance enhancement. So as I'm running, I cannot move sideways off the treadmill. I can't run into anything, and I can't get spit off the back of the treadmill. A blind person would be able to walk or run at very high speeds with no apprehension. I'll show you if you happen to lose your balance or have a problem, you just sit in the shorts and it holds you up so you can't fall. So you would be able to run at very, very high intensities, basically using physical exertion as your endpoint for how hard you can go. Okay. You comfortable with your stance there?
Yep.
We've had people with Parkinson's disease, Huntington's disease. It's just those types of problems make it difficult to exercise. Tom will be zipped into the top of a large balloon. The balloon encapsulates his lower body as well as the treadmill. The treadmill is on a scale, and as the balloon inflates and starts to lift him up off the treadmill, it will be able to calibrate itself to his exact body weight. So the gravity or the amount that you weigh can be accurately offloaded from 100% of your body, which is full body weight, to 20%, which is almost the same as the moon. That says 100, so right now you weigh 100% of your body weight. That's full body weight. We'll take you right to 60% of your body weight. The treadmill can be inclined to 15% of an incline, and it can go up to 12 miles per hour, which is very fast running. Well, I'm gonna go at 0.1 mile per hour increments. Yeah. Burning calories is critical. That's basically just staying fit. Burning calories when you're only using small muscles is difficult. When you can employ the use of your big muscles in your legs, in your bum, you will burn calories much, much quicker.
It's great. it better?
Is it better than
Than the
treadmill at the gym? Yeah, I think there's more potential for speed on it for sure.
Walking is probably the most important exercise a human being can do. And when walking is taken away from you, it really limits what kind of exercise that you can do.
Dans un mauvais besoin, we can pass to the next story. Have you what? Murder bomb? You're thinking maybe wheelchair with balls? This face, full contact sport is for those wanting as a naked sport while sitting down.
Wheelchair rugby is played 4-on-4 on a regular basketball court, and the object of the game is to have possession of the ball when you go over the goal line. People with higher ability are the ball carriers, and then the ones with the lower ability are the ones blocking, so they can get up to speed and score the goals. It's a co-ed sport. Women and men both play against each other. So you need a disability in 3 or more limbs. Usually you need a disability in all 4 limbs before you qualify to play.
I was very competitive before my disability, snowboarding, skateboarding. I played football, basketball, volleyball in high school. So I was definitely looking for an activity that I could play competitively. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all in, full out. So I mean, wheelchair rugby was an excellent opportunity for me, and I mean, my life has changed drastically since.
Penalties come from, even though it's a full contact sport with the chair, it's not a full contact sport with the hand. So you can't reach in and touch, grab, you can't push. So any part of your body touching another player or even his chair is a foul. After the big hit and someone gets tipped over, the play may be continued until a score is scored, as long as the players are not going towards the player that's on the ground. As soon as the play turns towards that player, the whistle will be called dead, and then the equipment people from the team will come out and then just kind of tip them up like a lever. Whoa. With the contact, you want the first point of contact to be the chair, not your feet. And on a regular chair, your feet and your knees are out. There's 2 different types of chairs that you can see out there. One's an offensive chair, and that has the steel wings and the shorter front. And then you have the defensive chairs that have that basket sticking out. And the basket is meant to try to get in between the wheels and those wings, or get up top and to stop the chair. So they're more the blockers. We have a prairie league that we play, and it's Calgary, Edmonton, Saskatoon, and Winnipeg. We'll have provincial teams go to nationals, and then we play each other there too. So we have the A division and the B division play each other.
And then roll the fingers over?
I cannot feel it.
Being a person with a disability when I was 20 years old when I got injured, I mean, for the first couple of years, I mean, I was significantly affected by that, like psychologically. Well, rugby's actually given me absolutely everything positive that I have in my life 16 years post-injury, but it's also given me the opportunity to build friendships, a career, and just a great time.
And a lot of time it's just helping people with their disability, giving them suggestions of how to do something at home. That we are a team, and we help each other. With these, you don't need to grab on, right? If you just get friction, right? Just a little bit of friction. When most players come, they're pretty quiet and not sure what's going on and stuff, and got some spasticity there. When I saw Remy come in today, you know, he was upbeat and ready to go, and he goes, I guess I need to get myself in one of those chairs. So the spirit and stuff that he has to go and the drive that he has definitely can take you a long way in the sport.
Yeah.
At first it was just to get out and get some physical exercise myself, and now it's just to see people come out and have a winning team and come out and see the improvement from the first day they show up to you know, even 6 practices in, you can see a huge improvement in a lot of the players.
After my brain aneurysm, I had a very hard time thinking about my active past life in the mountains, while wondering now I was going to move on into the future, becoming physically active again certainly help my state of mind. Here's a look into my life from the past to the present.
He had his stroke at 27. He had a genetic malformation in the base of his brain. And so when he had his stroke, it didn't affect his brain, but it affected the connection between his brain and his body. Again, so he is paralyzed. He's an hemiplegic, so he's paralyzed on his right-hand side. With that, he also can't use his arm, his right arm. He can't see or taste or smell out of the right side of his body. And so, in spite of that, he's able to get around in his wheelchair quite efficiently in the summer using like public transportation. In the winter, he has to use the handy bus because it's a little less secure for him in the water and the snow conditions. But overall, he gets around really well.
Any sign of Jasmine?
No.
Hi, Remy. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. How are you doing? So we're gonna go swimming today?
Yeah.
Yeah? Great. When he sets his mind on a goal, he achieves it no matter what, and he has the tenacity in order to do that. And so it's very refreshing to see him out and about and doing all the things, trying to live the same type of lifestyle that he lived before his stroke.
But he has not lost his mental drive to accomplish absolutely everything.
I want to go like this, and one the other I go like this. Makes it very difficult, but I see better on my left eye.
Remy started climbing at 17. He crossed over from cross-country skiing where he competed. And I think he lost interest in the competition and was more interested in becoming an independent sport where you push yourself. And he started climbing and skiing, rock climbing, backcountry skiing, mountaineering, telemarking.
Okay, Remy, you're good to go.
I knew Remy before he had his accident. I think it was 7 years ago. He was probably the most physically capable person that I've ever known. And then he had his accident. But he has not lost his mental drive to accomplish absolutely everything.
Hey Remy, I hear you have a tattoo. He's been asking me about your tattoo. I want to see it. Nice. Very nice. Well, Remy is definitely slowed down quite a bit as far as physically, but his tenacity in his sport, his mountaineering and climbing and whatnot has transferred over to his need to push when it's difficult and to continue on when it's hard. And he has done that in his therapy and in learning to do all the things that he does day-to-day life. And he's also has been inspired to help other people who may not have the same background as he does to learn and to show the independence you can have within the city and the different activities that you can participate in, even though you may not have the same abilities as others. So with swimming and climbing and even as simple as traveling around the city and our proximity to the mountains and getting out and enjoying the outdoors. Very nice.
He was probably the most physically capable person that I've ever known.
But he's determined to still enjoy those same things.
I be adventurous. Who's that? You cannot play hockey in a wheelchair. Next, we'll take a look into the Calgary Power Hockey League to learn a little bit more about the sport. And it's a great community of great friends.
We want to finish first because we want to play Nathan in the playoffs in the first round, right?
Yeah.
So we want to finish first.
So we're going to start you on defense. Okay.
Okay.
Is that good, Remy?
Yeah.
Perfect.
CPHL basically is the same as the NHL. We have all the same penalties. The only difference would be because we're in a wheelchair, we're looking at safety as a big issue. So we have a dangerous driving penalty, which would be a little bit different than the NHL. But other than that, everything else is the same. You can get high sticking, you can get tripping, you can get a slashing, everything else is the same as the NHL.
I played in the league for about 15 years, so that gives me a big edge because I know the game really well, so that really helps out. Some guys are really rough, they like that style, and other guys are really gentlemen and play that style, so a real, really depends on the game and the player. Some games there's a lot going on, a lot of penalties, a lot of goals. Other games it's a little more quiet.
I would if I had the ball. Sometimes the intensity is a little high and somebody loses their cool a little bit, but not very often.
He's behind you. He's behind you. He's behind you. He's right there. I know, Mike.
All of us are pretty good friends, but everybody likes to win. So, you know, the closer to the top of the division you are, the bigger the rivalry. Like today, we're playing the #1 team. We're both tied, so it's a big game, and both of us want to win pretty bad.
That's it, Spencer. Player needs intensity, and it's the same type of intensity that any athlete needs in a team sport. He has to be prepared to play hard and to use his teammates as best as possible to advance the needs of the team.
All right. Come on, Bart. Bart, it's it, Bart.
So Remy's largely a defenseman. So his role obviously is to help out the goalie. So today we're playing Kevin Phillips, and he is great at the long shot. So a big role that Remy will be to try to block as many of those shots as they can so that they don't end up on goal. And also to prevent the wraparound.
It's never a one-man game. We all have to work together.
The spirit means intensity. It's the attributes.
I am one of the top players in Canada, so it does look like I'm a little bit better than the other people, but you know what? Everybody has their position and we all have to do our jobs.
Sew him up, Jacob!
Remy enjoys the game. He enjoys the camaraderie of the team. He enjoys, obviously, winning. He has, I know, accomplished great things before. He ended up on a wheelchair, and he wants to continue on, and I think that's great.
I've kind of just transitioned into reffing, and it's been nice. Gets me out on Saturdays and keeps me involved with the guys, so I enjoy it.
What's fun for me is to see players improve, to develop skills, to learn to use their teammates, and to record accomplishments like goals and assists.
What the heck is wrong with me?
Oh, I love it every week. I mean, these guys are my best friends. They're almost like family, brothers and sisters. I mean, we're all fighting a common cause, and this just brings us together.
Last but not least, we visit with the Calgary Sledge Hockey Association and some of its players. From a veteran that lost both his legs to former pro hockey player that was involved in a work accident, this sport has made a huge difference in their lives.
Elbow pads, shoulder pads, gloves and a helmet, and a neck guard, okay?
I feel like I'm gonna rush.
I'd basically say it's hockey, but you're sitting down. You know, to me it has no difference now playing both stand-up and sledge throughout my life. It's essentially the same thing.
Is that pinching at all? You okay?
No.
Can I tape your feet down?
Okay.
So they stay in there?
When's the last time you used this much duct tape?
Probably never.
Most of the sleds that you'll see out here today are a beginning type sled where the blades are quite a bit wider apart. It gives you a lot more stability that way. We use exactly the same gear as regular hockey, obviously, aside from the sticks. Our sticks just have the picks on the end of them, and that helps us get around.
I guess one of the difficulties when it comes to physical limitations is the balance aspect and the manual hand dexterity.
Yeah, it's a lot of upper body strength in sledge. You know, you do most of your turning with your hips, and then everything else is all upper body. There's adaptations for pretty much any disability with sledge hockey. You know, you can have somebody pushing you. It's a pretty open sport.
Good. It's fun. Yeah.
The Calgary Sled Hockey Organization here is really open, very accepting of anybody, all skill levels, all interest levels.
Hello.
First time out?
Yeah.
I'm Steven. Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
I lost both my legs in Canada province in 2008 while I was on rotation there with the Canadian Army. And after being injured like that, especially as a soldier, you come from a very active lifestyle. You don't really know if you're going to get your life back in order. They brought us together and put us through all these different adaptive sports just so we could kind of learn, hey, there's life after injury. And after I left Edmonton, came back down to Calgary, I was kind of looking at getting involved with it locally. And that's when I got hooked in with the Calgary Scorpions. And I've been playing here for the last 2 seasons.
I played hockey for a living and ended up having a work accident after my career had ended, and had one of the guys that I knew that played on the national sledge team up in Edmonton asked me to come out to the World Sledge Challenge here just about 3 years ago, and I was hooked from that point on.
Practices are structured basically half recreation and half skills and development. So there's a wide range of fun for everybody.
You got drift, you drift.
I think he's getting there. It's one of those things. Sled hockey, the first time you're out, it's the hardest thing you'll ever do.
Everybody here has fun. Remy, you know what? You're not dead in the water yet. just like all these other guys, you have to come out and practice like regular hockey. So.
And then every time you get out, you get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And then after a while, you kind of forget why it was so hard in the first place.
I actually play with the national program. So I just come out and I'm helping coach these guys this year. Our season generally runs about the same as a hockey season.
We have tournaments across Western Canada, probably about 6 to 7 a season. And yeah, we're always looking for new players and there's tons of help, so don't be shy.
I didn't get to wear the Team Canada jersey playing stand-up, and getting to do it now is just an absolute thrill.
There is more things to do in a wheelchair than feature in this show. Get online, learn more about things you can do, and get out there and stay active. I'm Remy, and life is always an adventure.